Hi Cancer, and welcome to your, I'm just going to move my camera, sorry guys, to your October general reading. So I've already pulled your Lenormand and you got the cage. Okay, well this is actually called the key. So you see it, absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. And this card quite often can represent some sort of opening, okay, some sort of way out of an area in your life where you felt constraint, trapped. Very, very beautiful card, but it tends to talk about there's some sort of opening. Now, a funny thing happens when we have an opening, because sometimes we realise we actually like being in the cage. It's a little bit of an issue between freedom, flying free, and staying within the confines of your safety. A little bit of an ironic card, this one, but I've pulled it recently, and what it represented for me was a door opening that I've longed to open for a very, very long time in my life, and it opened and I found the freedom that my soul was seeking. So let's see if it means that for you, Cancer. Very, very beautiful card actually, but it's a very interesting one because we're already talking about actually the Cancer Capricorn axis, which can be about security and safety between freedom. Yeah, that's sort of very, very, it's actually quite a beautiful card. They're very, very intrigued. It's a long time since I've seen that card showing up. We have a couple of months, Cancer. December is a really pivotal month for everyone. It's when Saturn goes into Aquarius, Jupiter goes into Aquarius. There's so much energy, and the next couple of months are very, very important in the work that we do in the lead up to December. Okay, as much shadow work, or as much, I call it Saturn work, as much working with this energy around moving towards individuation, moving towards freedom you can do, the better. Because it won't be quite as easy after next year has passed to get that key to freedom. So everyone that I work with or in my personal life, I am really, really encouraging them to follow their heart as much as possible, because the key to freedom lies within the heart and what you're drawn to, what you need. What you love, because essentially freedom lies with following your heart. I'm not saying that every single one of your needs will be met if you follow your heart, Cancer. I didn't say that, but I said that your need to individuate, to find freedom, will be met. A lot of people don't like outside that cage, and that's okay too. So let me just find out what's going on. Tell me what's going on for Cancer, please. There'll be a lot of lights beginning to shine again in around December. A lot of freedom, a lot of new innovation. But let me look what's going on. I don't know why I said that, because suddenly we're only in, this is October's reading. I think what I'm doing, Cancer, is I'm within my personal work, I'm trying to get as many people, and some of the Cancers I read for that I'm realising, and they've been doing an awful lot of inner work, and really, really what they're getting ready for is the new era we're moving towards. So let's have a look. So you've got the Magician behind you with Temperance, so two major players already with Magician and Temperance, because Temperance is about spiritualizing your emotions, which simply means following your gut, following your instincts, always trusting them. It's always about being led and being guided. Well, the Magician's the ultimate power card. He holds all the aces. So very, very much cards about desiring all the aces are always about new chapters, because that's what the aces represent, new opportunities. And the Magician card in this deck, he is pretty much an empty vessel. So he is very much about receiving this power and then going out and acting it in the world through material plane, the emotional, spiritual, mental, yeah. Temperance is about following your guide. I mean, really, Cancer, you could probably teach me more about following your instincts than I can teach you. Even though it's a Sagittarius card, which is about balance, it's about our inner guidance. I still always find that inner guidance is about water, and she is floating in water. So it's almost like, what guidance are you having right now, Cancer, is almost what I want to say. What's calling you? Because what's calling you is where your heart really, really wants to be. And there's nothing more important in the lead up to the future than being very heart-centered. So what you want is a Judgment card. So this comes after the Death card, obviously. Not after it, but they work hand in hand. This is a resurrection energy. So this resurrection could be an individual level. It could be around a relationship. It's something, it's almost about regeneration. Can I just, so what's helping you get that is me. Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm the Queen of Swords, Aquarius. But this is about the truth. The truth shall set you free. Can I just carry on? The Challenge is a Sun card. I need to carry on before I can make a comment. Yeah. I had the feeling that was going to turn up. Ace of Cups in love and relationships. This is the reason why I use this deck. Sometimes it's not, you know what, and I'm laughing because I do read for a lot of Cancers. Beautiful, stunning card. Quite challenging because it's so challenging. The whole spiritual path is we're born with an open heart. Our hearts get broken and we guard them, and then we have to open them again and trust love. This openness, this vulnerability. And there you go. Money and work, you've got the Hermit card. The Tower card at a soul level. Now, don't worry about the Tower card. The Tower card very often shows up with the Ace of Cups for me. I've got a lot of pairing cards, actually. And sometimes when the other cards don't show up, I still read them as they have shown up. But I will, if you want to, I'll clarify it. You've got a lot of Aquarius energy though. Queen of Swords and the Tower card is both Aquarius. Then you get the Six of Swords. Anything after the Six of Swords, I try and either finish with an ace or a major. If there's no ace or major, it just means you're in an unfolding process, okay? I'm not sure if I'll be back, if I'll do mid-October readings or not, Cancer. Not a lot of people are viewing. YouTube are not sharing my videos, so I just, you know what, I just don't know what the road ahead is for me at the moment. You get 3 Aquarius cards. You get the Star card. Stunningly beautiful reading, Cancer. I just have to say, even before I begin. A lot of the big powerhouses of cards. I mean, every single card is a powerhouse because a queen is a powerhouse as well. Because it's not like the British royal family. The tarot, you're not born into queendom. You become a queen generally through the art of transmutation, which is making our compost making our crap into compost, and we mature and enrich yourself through that process. Now, what you're looking for is a Judgment card. So the Judgment card is rebirth, okay? Coming out of a little bit of a dark night of the soul. And I think it's safe to say, Cancer, that we've been in a collective dark night of the soul. It doesn't matter how it's affected us in one way or another. And I know some people who've loved the solitude, but we're collective beings. We're not little islands cut off from everyone. So we've all been affected by this in one way or another. So the Judgment card is about coming back from the dead. Okay, so coming out of this dark night, feeling glad to be alive. It does very, very, very often speak if there's been relationship difficulties. This would be the regeneration. Okay, something coming back that you thought potentially was over. It's going to play out differently for an awful lot of people. But look what, I mean, you just think that trumpet's blowing right down at this beautiful Ace of Cups, which is almost like some of you have made that decision. The past has passed, and made a decision to live your life from an open heart. Yeah. Now, interesting gift, because if that's your decision to open to be this beautiful Ace of Cups card, the Queen of Swords, very, very showing up for a lot of people. And she is learning to observe rather than absorb. Okay, a lesson that most water signs need to learn. So the Queen of Swords is the observer. Okay, she's the observer mind that is not quite as reactive. And when we're not reactive, we get to live in pure emotion. So pure emotion and pure feeling is about love. When we're emotional, we tend to be we tend to be reacting through a karmic script when we're too emotional. By the way, it's a very interesting thing, but there's a real big difference between emotions and feelings. The Ace of Cups to me is pure feeling, and I would class love as pure feeling. Not love as in codependency, or love as in how it's masqueraded in the past, by the way. And because the Queen of Swords is the gift, there's a sense really that's been ability to stand back from your emotional reactions. And this is what really ultimately opens up the heart. When we're just less reactive. And when we're less reactive, it's because we're coming from a very, very healed place within us. And I feel I'm just going on and on and on. So the Queen of Swords might be a person, does tend to be an air sign person, but because of how I'm watching how my clients are moving through this process, I'm now seeing the Queen of Swords as a little bit of detachment. And a lot of people would say to love unconditionally, we need that little bit of detachment, or else we're just going round and round in circles. You did this to me, you did this to me, which is how most of our relationship dynamics up until this point have been formed. Okay, so I'm saying this is the gift of being in the higher mind. Yeah, just I really want your reading, Cancer. Sorry. It's quite funny when you're a water sign and you have this a detached energy, that boy, it's almost like a freedom to be less driven by your emotions and having access to this pure feeling realm. Anyhow, the challenge is the Sun. So you might be challenged a little bit by letting your full glory shine. That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes the sun is a challenge. Your vitality might feel a little bit low because the crone is turning up in work and money. Some of you might be working from home. The crone's very, very often the guide, someone who guides, can be very, very much a self-employed card. So if some of you are having to work a lot from home, then you feel that you've lost access to the solar energy, because sometimes the solar energy is about other people. Yeah, it's about being around other people, and I can't help feeling some of you are very, very much the hermit around the money and work situation. And even though there's benefits of it, because you are the Queen of Swords, you're being more objective, you're in this higher mind, the observer mind. Because the observer mind is totally non-reactive, by the way. It just has this incredible open heart. Yeah? So what's the Ace of Cups doing in your relationships? I don't even want to touch the Ace of Cups. I just want to leave it at that. I mean, ultimately this isn't a new relationship. This is about self-love. Because everything comes from that. You know, it's always our heart that we take into every relationship that we ever have. And when our hearts in energy like the Ace of Cups and the mind and the heart have moved into connection, which means the Queen of Swords is also connecting with the heart energy, then we are the love that we always sought, because it's within us. And when it's within us, Cancer, we're safe to love, because you can't really be rejected, because we are our own state of love. Because I am just going on and on, but let me clarify this Ace of Cups. One card to clarify the Ace of Cups. Okay, there's some sort of energy coming your way. I often pair the Ace of Cups to the Knight of Swords and the Tower card when there's quite a big swift change about to happen. Yeah. Maybe a change that you've been longing for quite a long time. I would hedge a bet it's going to be on the emotional realm, if it's going to be anywhere, because it doesn't look as much as it's going to be in your money and work. And because of when the Tower and the Knight of Swords shows up in a reading, or the Tower and the Ace of Cups, it's a very, very quick and rapid change. So that might be the key. So something that you've longed for a very long time is coming in. Okay? Now, the outcome, first of all, is the Six of Swords. Still that very much sort of in between worlds. Very, very, very deep healing card. Guys, it just is. It's got Weeping Willow. Weeping Willow is a protector of the feminine energy, especially in Celtic Forelaw. She's moving from one world. She has got her eye on a destination, but very, very much of it being in a state of flow. And then you get the Star card. So this is grace. Grace is the highest power in the whole universe. If there's anything that we're lacking in our life, it's always grace that we turn to, what I turn to. And even if it's just simply, I need some grace right now, because I'm dealing with a set of circumstances that I don't know how to deal with. It's always grace I turn to, and it always provides what I need, even if it's just the next step, if it's a little bit of guidance about the way forward. Grace does it. If this has been a relationship issue, and I think for some of you it might be, because of the Judgment card and the Ace of Cups. The Star card rules transparency. Now, we cannot be in a relationship with anyone there's no transparency. Yeah, we can try, but if two people are not willing to be vulnerable and to be seen, the chances are very, very low that a relationship based on intimacy and depth is going to happen. Okay? And most people don't enter a relationship under the energy of the Star card because most people are terrified to be seen. And when we're terrified to be seen, it's because, you know, we feel in the inside there's something not good enough to be seen. Very, very complex. But the Star card is about being seen. It's about being vulnerable. It's about two people being vulnerable. Very, very much the Divine Feminine card. And you've got an awful lot of Aquarius energy. So Aquarius is also the energy of a friend. It's the energy of the future we're moving towards. The future we're moving towards is going to be very much based on humanitarian, egalitarian values, where we all matter. Very, very different energy altogether. So why is the Tower at the soul level? I'm assuming there's a shift coming your way. Why is the Tower at the soul level? One card. Go split the deck. Okay, you got the Seven of Swords. It's almost like, so the Seven of Swords to me is a gateway card. See, it's analysis paralysis, not going backwards, not going forwards. So very, very, it's almost like something's been in the shadows for quite a long time. This is why you want the Judgment card. This is why you want the Queen of Swords, because the truth shall set you free. So that's what the Tower card is. It's about being in the truth. It's about being transparent. That's what the Star card means. And the Seven of Swords is about something that's been unspoken. So it's been shady. So something that's been shady doesn't mean to say you're dealing with shady people. It just means that there's not enough truth been brought to the situation. And the Tower card is the light of truth. So is the Queen of Swords, and so is the Star card. And for some reason, I think this seems to be happening more through your relationships than anything else. I don't see that much happening in money and work. Maybe a little bit self-isolated. Maybe having to be at home guiding people, like what I do. I work from home. So maybe missing the energy of, because the Sun card also rules, you know, it rules Leo, it rules the warmth between all these people, so maybe missing that a little bit. But it's almost like a lot of lights coming on into areas that have been grey, been unspoken about. And trust me, Cancer. And we really, really want cards like the Grace card and the Ace of Cups card to fill those parts of us. And we want them to fill our relationships so we get forward to a new place. Listen, my website link is underneath. And I've got this video under my blog called Cutting Energetic Ties, and it's not about cutting old relationships, it's about cutting through any difficulties and the connections with other people. Seven of Swords can be that. It can be a little bit, it's almost like it could be unspoken energy between you and another person, and it's became very it's became a grey area. So when you do the video, you might have to do it a few times. What I want you to ask for is for only love to remain in this connection. And it works. Sometimes it's not a straightforward road. Sometimes people have to leave before they come back again. Sometimes it needs to go worse before it gets better. Depends on the people that you're dealing with. But every single sign, I've had to guide them towards it. It's because we're in Libra season, which means our soul wants us to attend to our relationships. Yeah. Our connections with other people. Bring light to that Seven of Swords. Anything that's been unspoken. And in the video, I've left space for you to say what needs to be said. So check it out. I've had to tell everyone to do it. I don't even know why I posted it. I did it last week, and I think I've understood why. And I'm going to try and do it for every time we go into a certain star sign. It's where our soul's meant to be working. So right now it's our relationships. Then gosh, we're in Scorpio, so we're going right to our shadow. Yeah. We want our shadow as cleared as possible before December, Cancer. You've been doing outstanding work on yourself. Yeah. You really, really have. It's so obvious. You've got all the big players, all the real, so much beautiful, beautiful energy around you. I want you to bring light to that Seven of Swords. You know what? Because it's deciding I'm not going to live my life in fear anymore. That's all the spiritual path is. I will open my heart again. Anyhow, lots of love, Cancer. Bye.